On this video, I show you how I model a river. And I do it without using either resin or pouring water. So I have a different technique and I'm going to show you what it is. Hello, I'm Flavin. My diorama for the PECO Rail 200 competition is coming on nicely. I've shown you last week how I made this, which is the riverbank, how I structured it. This week I'm going to show you how to create the water on it. Now, I don't use resin, I don't use pouring water, I don't like either of them. I use this. It's called Galleria Heavy Structure Gel. Basically, I can put it on with a spatula. Gives me control, allows me to give depth and movement to the surface, and I've always been very happy with the results I've had. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I'll probably put a few bushes on as well. I hope you enjoy this, find it useful, and I'll speak to you at the end. This is the top of the stream. So I'm going to put some of the Galleria structure gel, which as you can see is white. Goes on white, but dries clear. Put on the end of the spatula, not too much, and start where the water starts. That's what I tend to do. You get plenty of time to mould it and shape it, because it takes around about 24 hours to dry. The thing to bear in mind is I've already got a lot of shape and structure in this because I did it with the toilet paper and Mod Podge. I do need to pick it up, move it round in order to put this in place. So I'm going to do this in chunks. At the moment you can see it's come on and there's lots of movement there. It isn't quite how I want it. So I'm going to use this brush. It's just one that I've been using to apply some of it with. But basically you use the brush to create the look and the movement of water. Underneath where the bridge will go, then I've added a bit more movement, and then it's going to run off a little bit more slowly towards the front of the board. The advantage to using this, to my mind, is you can then paint in any currents on anything, something that actually stands up and stands out. I've put the heavy structure gel, or the water, down both sides now, and as you can see there are going to be quite reasonable looking currents and movement in it. And then I've also put a tiny bit down here off the end of the board, because that bit will actually be part of the edge of the diorama. So I will leave it to dry now. Now I'm ready to move on to the next stage, although the water isn't dry, because I want to start putting things on the riverbank and across the bridge. Now there's the odd little stone in the river, and I'm going to add just a little bit more current to it at a later stage, possibly a little bit of grey gravel that I have. I'm going to be putting a willow tree. This is a Gauge Master willow tree, possibly two of them. I haven't quite decided yet. I've also got quite a lot of little bushes and shrub-like things that I'm going to be putting down on it. I've got more stones. Now these are the slightly larger ones. They're going to go on the banking. I haven't decided quite where. These were quite a good buy. I got them from my local garden centre. Don't know if you can see the price there. Probably not. I need to move it away. £1.75. Whole big jar full of stones. Exactly the right colour for what I want. I'm going to be putting walling on. Now, this is a walling that I found a year or so ago. I think it's absolutely superb. Very flexible, very realistic. You can put it on hillsides and bend it round so that it fits the contours of what you're doing. I'm also going to be using it here at the top of the bridge, either side. Now, you can see that the bridge looks a little bit damaged. I've just popped it in place for a minute. A couple of cracks on it. It got broken, actually, in our move, or rather it snapped in a couple of places. It is only plaster cast. So I'm going to renovate that and sort it out. As you can see, it's been used. There is some greenery on it. I'll be adding some more. So I'm going to be working on that. So I will continue with it and take pictures as I go along, just to show you what I've been doing. This is a technique I really like using. And unlike resin and pouring water that can roll off your board if you're not careful, this gives you a lot more control. Might not be everybody's way of doing it, but I really like it. And I find it very successful. So I hope you found something useful from this. Please like, share, subscribe, all the usual, actually, if you're watching YouTube videos. And I'll speak to you again next week. Okay then, thank you, bye-bye.